Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Federation Vietnamese American in Northern California, we come here to support for the community in the Philippines, Tibet, Asia, Hong Kong, and Vietnam. So far, we have approached the rich China who over many centuries to invade Vietnam. So that's why today we stand up for the some community here and how we support for the human rights and democracy, freedom for some country like Vietnam, Hong Kong, and China. So please follow me. Human rights for Tibet.
For Tibet, for Tibet.
Human rights for Vietnam.
For Vietnam, for Vietnam.
Human rights for Philippines.
For Philippines, for Philippines.
Human rights for others.
For others.
Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi là cộng đồng Việt Nam rất là hân hạnh đến đây để cùng với tất cả các cộng đồng bạn để chúng ta tôn vinh bản tuyên ngôn quốc tế nhân quyền, nhưng chúng ta cũng không bao giờ quên bản tuyên ngôn quốc tế nhân quyền hiện giờ Cộng sản Việt Nam cũng như là Cộng sản Tàu đã vi phạm một cách trầm trọng. Và kính thưa quý vị, chúng ta biết rằng con bọ chết mà bỏ trong cái ly đó nó sẽ bung mình lên gần 100 lần. Tuy nhiên nếu chúng ta chụp cái tay lại và nó sẽ không bao giờ bung lên cho đến khi nó nhuần nhuyễn. Và nếu chúng ta không có cuộc đấu tranh như ngày hôm nay đó thì nhân quyền sẽ bị nghĩa là lạm dụng, xói mòn. Và do đó một lần nữa chúng tôi rất là cảm ơn cái sự tham dự của tất cả các cộng đồng cũng như đặc biệt đồng hương chúng ta sẽ nói lên cho mọi người biết rằng chúng ta sẽ không quên những nhà đấu tranh luôn luôn là những con người mà chúng ta chúc mừng cho họ chân cứng đá mềm. Một lần nữa rất là cảm ơn và kính chúc cho cuộc biểu tình này thành công cũng như soi sáng lương tâm của nhân loại để chúng ta tôn vinh nhân quyền. Một lần nữa xin cảm ơn quý vị. Thank you very much.
Cảm ơn Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Dũng. Với cái tiếp là
cái sức khỏe rất là kém, cho nên chúng tôi hoan nghênh những cái trẻ, những cái anh em trẻ để dấn thân tiếp sức cho ông chút các bà con để mà nêu cao nhất hôm nay cái nhân quyền. Trước đây 25 years ago we have a demonstration right in the house where the people come to sign the Human Rights Act. So very welcome, and we try to kick out the China who invaded Vietnam and Philippines. Philippines and Vietnam together we fight them. Thank you. Yes.
Down with the communists! Down! Down with the communists! Down with the communists!
cô Phan Hà, xin mời cô Phan Hà. Miss Phan Hà will speak on behalf of the Vietnamese people.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to say happy birthday to International Human Rights Day. Why do we have International Human Rights Day? In 1948, December 10, 1948, the leaders all over the world have come together and agreed to declare human rights for people. Why are they doing that? They declare the human rights for people to protect you, to protect me, to protect all of us against communism. Wherever there is communism, there is no human rights. Please remember that. So today, let's stand together. Let's fight together because we believe in the power of people. Only the power of people can defeat communist governments, including Vietnam, especially Red China, and other countries under communist government. Please, again, let's believe in the power of the people. Thank you. God bless all of us. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you all. We all invite all people come with us at the Vietnamese consular at 1700 California Street. We are very happy here with you today. So I would like to invite all of you come with us to the communist consular there, please.
Thank you.
1700 California Street, around 1-2 blocks over here.
Okay, bây giờ.
Out now!
Tibet!
China out now!
East Turkestan!
China out now!
Hong Kong!
China out now!
Spratly Islands!
China out now!
Sensaku Islands!
China out now!
Tiger Bank!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
Philippine Rice!
China out now!
Philippine Rice!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
East Turkestan!
China out now!
Tibet!
China out now!
Hong Kong!
China out now!
Sensaku Islands!
China out now!
Paracels Islands!
China out now!
Tiger Bank!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
Philippine Rice!
China out now!
Tibet!
China out now!
East Turkestan!
China out now!
Hong Kong!
China out now!
Sensaku Islands!
China out now!
Spratly Islands!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
Philippine Rice!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
Vanguard Bank!
China out now!
Paracels Islands!
China out now!
Tibet!
China out now!
East Turkestan!
China out now!
Hong Kong!
China out now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? Keep moving.
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do you want it?
Now!
Keep moving, keep moving. Tibet!
China out now!
Tibet!
China out now!
East Turkestan!
China out now!
Hong Kong!
Now!
Sensaku Islands!
China out now!
Spratly Islands!
China out now!
Vanguard Bank!
China out now!
Paracel Islands!
China out now!
West Philippine Sea!
China out now!
Philippine Rice!
China out now!
What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now!
When do you want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to say something? Go ahead. He's smart to you, okay. Go ahead, go ahead. English.
English or Vietnamese both.
Both.
Vietnamese first, yeah.
Hello.
The next
Chúng tôi
San
Francisco rất là hoan nghênh quý vị đã đến đây. Very welcome. Everyone come here because we live here, we work here. So very welcome all are here.
Yes.
Thưa quý vị, đúng ra chúng tôi ở đây phải tổ chức, nhưng vì
Okay, everyone.
All right.
Come to see me. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking for 12 volunteers. We're going to do a flower presentation.
Approach me.
Okay? We need 12 representatives. If you can come, we're going to give you a flower. For each country, if you can come, we will do a flower offering.
Jake, Young Chen, do we have the microphone with you? Oh yes, okay, yeah.
Let the MCs hold it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let Donnie and
So
Terry.
bây giờ đó, như hồi nãy Thiên Thanh nói đó là ban tổ chức cần 12 người để lên mỗi một người cầm một bó hoa hay là một đóa hoa, rồi sẽ đọc một cái statement ở trên cái tờ giấy đã ghi sẵn rồi, ghi bằng tiếng Anh. Còn nếu mà quý vị không đọc được thì MC sẽ đọc thế cho, rồi sau đó thì mình sẽ present cái sẽ để cái đóa hoa ở dưới đất, giống như là mình offer, mình mời những người mà ở trong cái danh sách này tới để đồng hành với chúng ta.
Chị Giao.
Thành ra bây giờ cần 12 người volunteer. Bác Lân Trận. Yeah. Thì so we need 12 people.
7 more.
You okay?
Kasim is coming.
Gotcha.
7 more. You want to read?
Yeah.
6 more.
6 more. All you have to do is hold the flowers and read one statement. Okay.
Okay, who's going to be the first one who will do the presentation of the flowers?
5 more. Okay, perfect. Very good. Okay, 5 more. Okay, very good.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Come up here.
So just for everybody, this flower offering, we have 12 days of Christmas, right? We also have 12 days of litany and prayer for the people who have been victimized of their human rights. So a way to invoke their spirit and their support is actually to say something. So the reader will say something, one sentence, and when the speaker says, we say, response is presente. That means their spirits are present with us right now. Okay, we'll try with the first one.
I believe it will be the Tibetan is the first.
I need Mr. Lân Trận to be the fifth person because I already assigned him the reading.
Okay.
So
Who
who's
will
the
be
first
the first one?
So,
This is about the 166.
Just drop it here.
For the 3 million Muslims who are incarcerated by the Chinese consulate to educate
Guys, we can hear you. Use the microphone. Use the microphone.
Hello.
They couldn't hear you.
Okay, very good. Use the microphone.
Okay.
Listen. Okay.
Here is the first presenter.
For the 3 million Muslim who are incarcerated by the Chinese consulate to educate supposedly but actually subject women, men, and kids to ethics lynching because they happen to be different, we say
Presente. Very good. Okay.
Go drop the flower.
And offer the flower, drop the flower. Very good.
Okay, now I need the second person. Jing
Second
Jing.
person.
Second person, they will do the offering, please.
So when you are done, you can leave. Okay.
All right, the second one. All right.
Okay, here's the second one.
for the latest 137 people and more who took their lives in an act of immolation to protest
Self-immolation. Yeah.
self-immolation.
Yes.
The act of self-immolation to protest the continuing subjugation of the Tibetan people since 1959. We say
Okay. Actually, it was corrected and say 166.
166 this time.
166.
correction, 166 people.
Now the third person.
For the youth, students, and ordinary people in Hong Kong who were killed or have been beaten severely by the police in the pursuit of democracy under two systems, one country approach as mandated by the basic law. We say
Okay, the fourth person, Mr. Lang Zhang is the fifth. So we need the fourth person.
Joanne? can you do the number 4, please?
Yeah, Joanne.
Joanne, number 4. Hold on.
Number 4.
For the 30,000 victims of extrajudicial killings under the murderous Philippine President Duterte, who came to power with the support of China and who has sold out the sovereignty of the country for more kickbacks from onerous loans, we say,
Presente!
Mr. Lanka, please. Number 5.
Number 5. For the 251 Vietnamese prisoners of conscience whose opposition to the Communist Party of Vietnam reflect general clamor for basic freedom of expression, we say,
Presente!
Viola, can you please come over here and do number 6?
Number 6.
For the 22 Filipino fishermen who were left floating at the sea after the steel chains vessel rammed through their small wooden boat, who only survived after Vietnamese fisher folks came to rescue them, we say,
Presente!
Number 7.
For women and LGBT who continues to be subject to human rights violation through gender discriminations, Islam, misogyny, sex trafficking, child marriage, and unequal employment opportunity, we say,
Presente!
Number 8.
Got it?
For the latest 116 people and more who took their lives in an act of self-immolation to protest the continuing subjugation of the Tibetan people since 1959, we say,
Presente!
Who's next?
Next one.
What number are we in now?
Number 9, I can do number 9.
Number 9, yes.
Hold on.
Number 9.
For the homeless people in San Francisco and in major cities in the world who are deprived of the right for decent living and equal opportunity to go back to the society and be productive contributors, we say,
Presente!
Number 10, please.
Please, yeah.
For the human rights defender, lawyers, students,
Studying.
activists, press people, and anyone pursuing due process of law, we say,
Presente!
All right, yes.
For the latest 166 people who took their life in the act of self-immolation to protest the continuous subjugation of the Tibetan people since 1959. We say,
Presente! Okay, what's
Number
number?
11.
11, yes. Just read it.
11.
Oh, you can read it. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Cool. Let's go.
for the environmental activities who are proposing the active land reclamation of the China in the Southeast Asian Sea that created massive ecological damage. We say
Presente. And is that the last one?
Tago, para malakas.
A duo, okay?
Yeah. Nice. You have the biggest flowers now.
Yeah, I have the biggest flower. for all the people of the world who belong to see a return of government and leaders that do not support violence, misogyny, militarization, extrajudicial killings, discrimination, and occupation of foreign lands. We say,
Presente. All right. Hey, when I say the names Duterte and Xi Jinping, these are both dictators in the Philippines and China. The response is dictador, dictador. Let's practice, huh? Duterte, Xi Jinping.
Dictador, dictador.
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 Go ahead.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kính chào tất cả quý anh chị, ông bà, cô bác.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donnie De Leon. My partner over here is
TAY.
We are your MC today. We will have speakers from different countries today, so just bear with us, okay? Today is International Human Rights Day. We are here today in front of the consulate of Chinese consulate to protest China's militarization in the South China Sea. We are protesting China's bullying of its neighbor in South China Sea. We are protesting China's occupation in South China Sea, and we are protesting China's repression. We are here today with our brothers and sisters from the Uyghurs community, Tibetan community, Vietnam community, the Filipino community, and from the Hong Kong community. Here is my partner, Terry Nguyen.
Yên Thanh xin tóm tắt những cái lời ông Donnie vừa nói. Hôm nay là ngày quốc tế nhân quyền, chúng ta có mặt trước tòa tổng lãnh sự của Tàu Cộng với mục đích là chúng ta phản đối sự cướp đất, cướp biển đảo của Tàu Cộng đối với tất cả những quốc gia như là Philippines, Tibet, Uyghur and the other country. Tất cả những quốc gia khác.
Our first speaker today is Lobsang Dorji from Tibet. Please give the representative from Tibet a big, big welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lobsang Dorji. I'm the president of San Francisco Tibetan Regional Youth Congress, and as well as I'm representing the Tibetan community in Bay Area. So this is the our headquarters statement released on the International Human Rights Day. As many of you know, that today is a very special and auspicious day for the Tibetans, which is also the anniversary of the conferment of the Nobel Peace Prize to His Holiness the 14th Great Dalai Lama. And it is the day that is observed every year to celebrate the adoption of the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a declaration that ensures the protection of the inalienable rights which everyone is inherently entitled to as a human being. But for the Tibetans, we have nothing to celebrate, as for the tragedy and the crisis inside Tibet have never been removed of the Chinese oppression and oppression. China's growing global influences and interference means many of its rights violations now have international implications. Therefore, we urge the international community to make the Chinese government accountable for human rights violations and abuses in Tibet and prioritize human rights principles in its bilateral relations with the Chinese government. The Chinese authoritarian is now taking the liberal value of freedom, democracy, and human rights everywhere. Not just in Tibet.
Chào hết tất cả quý vị khán giả
The international community needs to stand up for these values Anh có đôi lời gì trong cái ngày nhân quyền này thưa anh?
Hôm nay chúng ta tới đây thì chúng ta cũng biết là chúng ta cả thế giới này cũng đang kỷ niệm ngày tuyên ngôn quốc tế về tiêu chuẩn cái quyền lợi của mỗi con người nhưng mà đó trên thế giới này và đặc biệt là cái chế độ độc tài Trung Cộng và họ cũng gần xét về cái đất nước Việt Nam của chúng ta đó thì Trung Cộng hai cái nhóm chỉ đại diện cho một cái nhóm con người nhỏ nhưng mà họ sử dụng cái quyền lực, cái cai trị đó, họ đàn áp lên cái họ tước đi cái quyền của cái người dân Việt Nam chúng ta, người Trung Quốc và gần đây nữa thì họ bắt đầu họ lấn sân và cái luôn cả ở Hồng Kông và ở một vài nơi nào đó trên thế giới này. Trong cái ngày hôm nay chúng ta đến đây, chúng ta nhìn nhận lại cái điều đó cùng với là các cộng đồng bạn và đặc biệt chúng ta thấy được rằng là cái sự đàn áp đối với cái người Tây Tạng và gần đây nữa là những cái hồ sơ về cái sự đàn áp của người Việt Ngũ Nhĩ nó bắt đầu đã được thế giới. Thật ra những cái người nạn nhân như Việt Nam chúng ta đó, như là cộng sản, chúng ta có rất là nhiều nạn nhân rồi, kể cả người bên phía người Trung Hoa hay là người Việt Ngũ Nhĩ, nhưng mà mình chưa có được cái bằng chứng hoặc là mình chưa có đủ cái sự liên kết đủ mạnh để mình đưa những cái điều những cái bất tất, những cái mà cái sự đàn áp của nhà cầm quyền Trung Cộng đối với ra thế giới. Thì những cái dịp như thế này là những cái dịp mà chúng ta ngồi lại với nhau, chúng ta học được ở cộng đồng bạn, chúng ta biết được cái hoàn cảnh của họ và chúng ta đưa cái hoàn cảnh của chúng ta cho họ để chúng ta thấy được rằng là chúng ta có chung với nhau một cái mối thù, một cái sự đàn áp và từ đó thì chúng ta có được thêm cái động lực để chúng ta tiếp tục cho cái quyền cho Việt Nam chúng ta và cho các cộng đồng.
Dạ vâng, kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi đang nói chuyện với anh Trương Quốc Quyên, một người đấu tranh cho nhân quyền.
The day that all the countries in the world, all the human rights loving decent countries in the world, including what China have signed in the UN Charter for human rights, universal human rights for declaration. The problem though, China has been cheating internationally, not only domestically, brainwashing its people to read off any kind of difference of opinion or any kind of different culture from their so-called Chinese civilization culture. They've been brainwashing people to believe that anything that it does not agree with the way they think how the world works is a danger to the way of living of China getting ahead around the countries. And that is resulting today the aggression of not only its citizens, including Uyghurs, Tibetan, and also not including them, also the occupied territory, but also including Chinese people. I see many Chinese people here today having a flag and placard saying Chinese communist is the threat to humanity. It is not only a threat to the people within China or neighboring countries, it is a threat to humanity. You know why? Because the very nature of that party denies the basic human condition. The basic human condition of knowing the limit. Knowing the limit that we cannot, there are certain inalienable rights of every human being, which is the life of liberty, pursuit of happiness, and the way they live their life. That is the basic limit that we're telling the Chinese government, Communist Party, that cannot be crossed. Thank you very much for being here today, and I really appreciate all of you to spread the news across the neighbors. That's how we're going to win hearts. That's how we're going to win the war against aggression of human rights. Thank you.
Down with the Chinese! Down with the Chinese! Down with the communists! Down with the communists!
Our next speaker
speaker is from Hong Kong, representing from Hong Kong, Jin Chen.
Stand with Hong Kong!
Stand!
Stand with Hong Kong! Stand with Hong Kong!
After bearing 6 months of brutality and violence, Hong Kong people, 1 million of them, is on the street again today. This marks the victory of Hong Kong people's fight against the tyranny. I created a new word for the crime that perpetrated by the Chinese Communist Party. Humanity terrorism. It's a new word, brand new, because never happened in the history of humanity. It is terrorism against entire humanity. We cannot allow that. Not for our children, not for our future. This kind of crime against humanity must be erased from the surface of this planet. What happens when massacre and cultural genocide perpetrated by a tyranny, at the same time this tyranny is given economic prosperity? The result is today's China, Chinese people, Tibet, Uyghurs, the list goes on and on. All of these people and regions hijacked by a tyranny called the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Cultural Revolution in the 1960s was a decade of massacre and cultural genocide. No one believed massacre like Cultural Revolution would ever happen again. But on June 4th, 1989, it happened again in Tiananmen Square, in the center of China. The developed countries believed China would change when it gains financial prosperity, therefore established financial alliances with China. After becoming the second largest economy in the world, no one believed that the Tiananmen Square massacre would ever happen again. Today, it happened again in Hong Kong, with more violence, more brutality, and this time the tyranny is given advanced technology. It's equipped with advanced technology. How close is Hong Kong's tragedy to us here in the US or anywhere in the world? The answer to this question is why we have to call all of our communities together to raise awareness. When I saw a Hong Kong student wrote, "Be aware or be next" in his school on a wall, not only that, I believe he wrote wholeheartedly, I know he is right. Here is my own story, happened in my own life, to prove that this Hong Kong student is right. 10 years ago, I lived in Beijing for about 3 years due to job relocation. One day, I received a call from a locally well-known attorney. He asked to meet me on an important meeting. During this meeting, the attorney disclosed his interests in my personal participation for a what's so-called business opportunity to open a school chain in the US. However, as he was revealing the businessman, I could see this school chain happened to hold a very unusual goal: to train and bring up Chinese children and America-born Chinese children to become outstanding political activists who are qualified to run for various US elections, including running for the President of the United States. The tyranny indeed is expanding. It's not only expanding inside Hong Kong or Taiwan, its expansion is trying to reach to our community here. Hong Kong was under the same kind of infiltration, even earlier, 20 years ago. Now we know the Chinese Communist Party is perpetrating the same kind of infiltrative tactics around the world, especially into our school system. So we must be very careful. We must be very vigilant to see what they're doing inside in the deepest area of our community. How do we prevent our community from becoming the next Hong Kong? The answer is not a simple one. However, I would like to conclude my talk today by quoting from a movie I like. In order to defeat darkness, we must come together and say no. Thank you very much.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want? Justice. What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now. Now.
When do we want it?
Now. All right. The next part of the program would be a die-in.
What does that mean?
What is a die-in? This is a part where everybody who's capable enough will drop on the floor. So we don't want seniors. We want young, able-bodied who's able to drop down on the floor at the call of the sound. And then from there, we're gonna chant, China out now, China out now. Now, the question is, why do we have to do this? Because right now, we're calling a stop for the militarization of the East Asian Sea. We know for a fact that China has declared that they have 3 nuclear missiles right there at Spratlys, pointing at Vietnam, pointing at the Philippines. We know for a fact that warships have actually occupied several islands in the Philippines. It's all guns pointing to each other right now. We want to call for a peaceful Southeast Asian water where nobody is bullying another one. So can you hear me? So we want, for those who are carrying flags, we only need 10 people. You stay at the back here against the wall, and everybody else drop whatever you have, and we're gonna tour around, just make one circle, and when I said drop, we drop on the floor. Are we good with that?
Này đó là ông Ago này ông muốn làm một cái sự nhắc nhở là nếu mà tàu cộng mà chiếm Hoàng Sa và Trường Sa và tất cả những biển đảo của Á Châu đó thì là cái viễn tượng nó sẽ xảy ra như thế nào. Tức là ông nói là những ai mà lớn tuổi á, hay là cầm cờ thì tới đứng đằng sau ở đây, còn những người trẻ mà có thể ngã xuống dưới đất á, khi mà ông kêu drop down đó thì ngã xuống dưới đất đó, để là
like this, right? Everybody drops down.
Là nếu mà tàu cộng mà chiếm đất của biển đảo và đất của những nước Á Châu đó thì cái này nó sẽ xảy ra.
So everybody,
if you cannot drop, stay over here in the back.
So everyone,
những ai mà không muốn ngã xuống đất đó thì lại đứng ở ngay chỗ bức tường.
Able bodies will be able to drop. The flags will be in the back. Flags in the back.
Now like this. Okay, all flags, all banners, drop them against the wall. So everybody should be free of anything, so we can drop free on the floor. Let's put the flowers on the side here. All right.
Pick it up.
Sorry. Okay, guys. Everyone, okay, guys, okay. So we are asking only able bodies here, right? Who are able to drop on the floor. Only young able bodies can do this. We need the camera, we need the video. This is good. All right, okay. We're gonna chant 1 minute and then we'll all drop down. Okay, we'll chant first. All right. What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it? Now, now, now! Now as a symbol and resistance against continuing militarization of the East Asian Sea, against the nuclear warheads, against the warships by China on the sea, we all drop down now! Drop down! Drop down! Drop down! And for the guys in the back, keep waving the flags. The guys on the wall, keep waving the flags, and we're gonna chant again. What do we want? Justice! Raise your fist. What do we want? Justice! 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 Tibet! No! Tibet! East Pakistan! Hong Kong! Marshall's Island! Harbor Bay! West Philippine Sea! Philippine Rice! West Philippine Sea! Singapore Island! What do we want? Justice! 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 When do we want it? Now! When do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! 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 When do we want it? Now! 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 When do we want it? Now! 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 Thank you, thank you. Please thank you. Let's give them a big hand. Let's give them a big hand.
Okay, our next speaker.
Vietnam, there will be two speakers representing Vietnamese. Is Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Dũng.
And now mình đi
Okay.
qua lãnh sự
We
quán
have
của
one
Việt Nam.
last speaker for today before we march to the Laguna side, okay? After the visa section, and then come back over here for photo up. That will conclude the rally. I would like to call this time Aga Pedalisa of the Filipino Human Rights Group Alliance.
Better?
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll start with the chant. What do you want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now, now, now!
When do we want it?
Now, now, now!
Back in 1979, the father of modern China, Deng Xiaoping, he spoke at the United Nations saying, and this was 40 years ago, he was saying that China was not a superpower back then. He was saying China is not a superpower. But if one day China becomes progressive and becomes an imperial country, he said that the world has every right to stop them. So what we're doing right now is in fulfillment of what Deng Xiaoping has told us 40 years ago. China out now. China has actually exceeded the threshold of being a nationalist, progressive country. There's nothing wrong to be progressive. There's nothing wrong to grow the economy. There's nothing wrong to grow with the technology and arms. There's nothing wrong. But once you start going through and trespassing upon the rights of autonomous regions of Tibet, of the Uyghurs of Hong Kong, then you violate their rights. You become the evil that you were fighting against once. When there's a country like China who started to occupy islands beyond their state, who occupies the islands of Senkaku, who occupies the Paracels, who have militarized the Spratly Islands, who have actually occupied probably 7 islands now in the Philippines, who have trespassed the EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone, then you become the imperial country that you once hate. We demand that China stop trespassing others' rights. We demand that China recognize the sovereignty of Taiwan. We demand that China stop actually putting countries under debt trap. Right now, we have countries of Laos, of Nepal, of Pakistan, whose kids and children will never exist anymore because they are indebted to the trap for the next 100 years. We are now in a situation where several islands in the Philippines are being guarded by the warships of China. We are now in a situation that China is expanding with the Belt and Road Initiative that is supposed to expand to 64 countries and 4 continents, including Asia, Africa, Europe, and part of the Eurasian continent. We cannot allow this. We cannot allow a superpower imperial country to trespass upon the rights of small nations. The United Nations was very clear in 1948 when they declared human rights. They're saying that countries, big or small, nationalities, big or small, are all equal in the eyes of God. That regardless of your power, we're all born with equal rights to survive, thrive, have education, have families, and live a life away from fear. The occupation of the Spratly Islands trespass against our rights. And we, as global citizens in the US, have all the right to extend our solidarity to the people of Tibet, of Uyghur, to the people of Hong Kong, to the people of the Philippines, to show our support that we will not allow occupation, we will not allow repression to run the day. Again, when we say, what do we want? Justice! 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 When do we want it? Now! 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 When do we want it? Now! 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 When do we want it? Now! Now! Now!
International!
Solidarity!
International!
Solidarity!
International!
Solidarity!
International!
Solidarity!
Okay.
One last announcement, please, before we march.
Thiên Thanh muốn lặp lại lời của anh Nghĩa hồi nãy đó.
Flags in between. Okay, after this banner, we have to have 3 flags so it looks good. Right, it looks good, okay. Alright, so we'll try it all together, So from here, we're gonna walk to the visa section and then come back here for a photo op. Alright, okay, perfect. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now! Now! Now!
When do we want it?
Now! Now!
When do we want it?
Now! Now! Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
Now!
Now! Now! Justice! Now! 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 Justice! Justice!
No, no, no! No, no, no! Justice! Justice!
Justice! No, no, no!
Again, we're commemorating the 71st anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights. We are also calling on the Chinese government to start its repression on the autonomous regions of East Turkestan, Tibet, and Hong Kong. We also call on the Chinese government to stop its aggression and occupation of the islands of Southeast Asian countries. What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
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 When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice.
Tibet. Tibet.
China out now.
East Turkestan.
China out now.
Hong Kong.
China out now.
Senkaku Island.
China out now.
Spratly Island.
China out now.
Marshall's Island.
China out now.
West Philippine Sea.
China out now.
Philippine Rice.
Now with China.
Tibet.
Now with China.
Tibet. East Turkestan. Hong Kong. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? Tibet! East Turkestan! Hong Kong! Senkaku Island! Marshall's Island! Vanguard Bank! West Philippine Sea! Philippine Rice! Tibet! East Turkestan!
China out now! China out now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do you want it? When do you want it? When do you want it?
Now, now, now!
When do you want it?
Now, now, now!
When do you want it?
Now, now, now!
Okay, we're gonna have a photo op here. Okay, how do we do the photo op? I would say
June is gonna be in it.
right. The tall people stand at the back. Flags stand in the back. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead. It's good to have the flag. Just show up your faces. Right. Okay. All right. Show up here. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Wave the flag.
Make it tight. Make it tight.
Closer. They say closer.
Make it tight. Make it tight.
Make it tight. No, make it tight. Okay, squeeze in, squeeze in.
And be careful, please, when you cross for a picture. We don't want anybody getting run over.
All right, okay. Perfect. All right.
Don't ruin the bar.
All right, we're gonna have a photo op. Who's taking the picture?
You got Iron Man now.
This is all done. Okay.
No, I'm not taking
Right,
it.
okay. I think a 30-second video would be good and one good picture, right? Okay, let's just wait when the white van goes out.
And then take it.
Right, okay. Let's do it. June, we're ready, June?
Wait until this guy.
Let's wait until the van comes out. It's the one from
Go
China.
all the way over there so you can see that.
Trying to go away from people now. Away. China right now is being opposed at all angles. They cannot continue what they're doing. All the areas of Vietnam, Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, territories of Hong Kong, Uyghurs, and the Tibetans, even Taiwan, even Korea are standing up, protecting their territories against the invasion and occupation of bullying countries. Alright, okay, we have a picture. One, two, three.
China out now! Now with China!
One last chance. You say, China out now!
China out now!
China out now! China out now! China out now!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Good job, everybody. Now we can go and join our brother.